All righty, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and it's your boy Dave coming back at you live. It's a happy Tuesday. I hope you guys had a fantastic night of sleep, and here we are for another brand new trading day. Anyways, let's get started here without market news. We got all three major indexes kicked off the second half on a positive note, posting gains for Monday's trading session. The tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite closed the session at a fresh record, gaining 0.83% to an end at a high of 17,879.30 points. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, also closed higher, with the broad market index gaining 0.27%, Dow gaining 0.13%. The tech sector also finished with gains to start the second half, moving 1.3% higher. Tech stocks, Microsoft, Apple, and artificial intelligence, Starlink, NVIDIA, advanced 2.2%, 2.9%, and 0.6% respectively. So that's what we got here. Getting into our watch list, starting off with VS is our number one gainer this morning. Stock is up 70%. Very nice trade the morning so far, from the 190 and then another round at 225, and looking to see if we can hold this 225 and get back up towards that 244 pre-market high, break through 244, and then we should be able to see a brand new high today at market opening. So definitely a nice pullback here near the 200, and now market opening in about 7-8 minutes, and let's see if we can get this thing going further or not. All right, so other than that, if you look at this company, VS, it's a Versus System Inc. That's what the company name is. So right now, 225 support, low float. Anything under 10 million is considered low flow. Float's number of shares offered to the public, as you guys know, 6.4 million float. So Canadian tech company with a brand new press release. That actually, no, there is no brand new press release on VS. So there is no news, just a low float with a, decent, that had room up here on the daily chart. So right now, you got a little bit more room here, I say, maybe 225 or 25 cents, or 250 or so. Wouldn't really look forward to too much unless, we do end up breaking above that 254, 255 area. And then we can maybe continue to go on further. But yeah, just watch for those areas right now. I mean, that can technically, stock is running, it popped up nicely, did get a decent pullback. I mean, $2 still held, so we'll see. I'm just going to stress that 244 to 255 area. I would just look for a nice exit for now, and then if it builds above 255, then we can look for more different levels. Okay. All right, next stock is OPTT. Top second gainer. Stock is up 70% here as well. Micro penny stock, right? So nice pop from the 33-cent breakout alert, and we got up to 51 cents so far. So 50 cent naturally a resistance. We'll see if it can come back above 50 cents, build support, and then, maybe it might do a higher low. I got a line. Anything above 50 cents? No, I don't. But if you look at the daily chart there, we got more room there. So all the way up to like 77. Okay, so that's the next. We got a next layer here. We're in the zone, let's just call it zone one, zone two, actually. Zone one was here, zone two, and we'll see if we can get to zone three if 50 cent becomes support. Other than that, we do have a brand new press release on this company. Okay. It's a USA industrial company, 55 million float, so it's a little bit higher float stock today. It partnered with the unique group of autonomous vehicle services in the Middle East. So we have that PR headline this morning, and not your little low flow stock. So just keep that in mind. And then going down the list on the watch list here, I got GMM here. Top fifth gainer, did not trade this one today at all, but it's got a lot of resistance here at 120. You can tell got rejected once, twice, 3 times, and back down here to 109. You got that nice $1 natural support. That would be a decent entry back in for a low risk pop. What else can I say about this company? I mean, let's kind of dig in on GMM. This is a low float as well. This is a Chinese under 10 million in float, like 9 million float tech Chinese company. Some people are not big fans of Israel and Chinese companies and these small caps, but just FYI, it is a Chinese tech company. Global MoFi Metaverse launching $69 million fund with strategic partners to foster growth opportunities in the AI, digital economy, entertainment, etc. So we have that brand new PR. All right. 120 breaks, then we can look forward to further run. Right now being below 120, I'm not too interested. 120 to about 135 or so to 160, almost 170. So those are some areas that I'll be watching. And then I have VLCN here on the watch list as well. Okay, this one just was our latest play. Alert came out at 585 break and hit 633 double top high of the day. So congrats there. You traded. Right now we are back slightly below that 585 where we looked for that breakout. So we will be watching for that reversal / 585 breakout entry level there. If it reverses out of the downtrend line here. If it does pull back, I wouldn't really look forward to any other EMAs except for the 200s. That looks like the lowest EMA that it hit. So I will look for a 200 dip. If you're looking for the breakouts, that 585 is another good line again to use. So this is a USA auto manufacturer company under 1 million in flow. So that means it's going to be very volatile. Okay, it's the lowest flow we have this morning. It's going to be able to move very fast with some volume. All right. Now, this company does not have any new press release. So just a heads up. Last but not least, I have the SYTA. Okay, so this one we did, I believe there was an alert on SYTA, right at the 80 cents. So at the time, there was not a whole lot of volume, but we got a nice pop. Volume came in and all the way up to 113. So this was a nice trade, just a little bit low volume today for sure. Just needs more activity, right? So anyways, a little bit under 10 million volume traded today so far on SYTA, which isn't shabby. On average, it does trade about 2 million. So just needs to get out of the lower highs and then might pop back up towards that $1 VWAP zone. There's also another micro float under 1 million float. So definitely something to watch out for. 80 cents now is going to be your solid support. So previous resistance, now support. So if you want to go back in on the dips, that would be your low risk entry level. Okay. Other than that, I think that covers all the watch list. So my top watch this morning into the market opening, obviously, we have to keep an eye on the number one gainer, VS. 2 rounds here. We did break that 225 again now. So like I said, just watch out for that 244 to 254, 255 level. And then I think, OPTT will be my top second watch after VS. Okay, and then top third would be VLCN. So those are going to be my top 3 stocks going into the market opening. Top 3 stocks. Personally, for me, going into the market opening are the VS. Okay, and then you got the VLCN. It's right at that VWAP right now, and OPTT is about to come down to the VWAP. So those are my top 3 stocks, and I encourage you guys to stay laser focused on those for now. Yeah. Other than that, NQ, we do have a high impact news right at market opening here, and actually in a few seconds, folks. So that's going to be where Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaks. And then at 10 o'clock, we have the JOLTS job opening. So heads up. 3, 2, 1, and market is now open. Let's have a great day. OPTT, GMM, TNXP, QQBGO, RDCN, KAPS, North B, CSLR, KLA, LMFT, IFOD, SMR, ANBS, CLEU, OPTT, EVIO, LGHL, BTOG, LGHL. Wait on. Fun. BTOG. Okay, so right now, VS coming on up nicely to that zone that we talked about. Okay, so like I said, good area to sell into that zone, folks. That 244 between that to 255. And now we can look for maybe up towards $3 if that 255 does become support. So VS 255 resistance needs solid piercing to support build or north towards 3. That is possible, but just keep in mind we want to make sure that this thing is still continues to ride the 10 EMA and then uptrending here. NQ, nice pop all the way up towards the pink dev line now. It's just hitting the old trend line. And now let's go ahead and make sure that this is continuously keeping up that higher low here. Looks like if this 20K becomes support, then we have a shot at the deviation 2 line.
Oh. No. NATL, ABTM, EBS, Saga, NATL, S1, OPTT, OJT, UPST, S1, GOE, TJMR, OPTT, OPTT, Fun, Hollow.
Okay, so while that did get sold into, we are getting OPTT, which is one of my top second favorites right now this morning, as we get the little bit of a pullback on VS, OPTT, getting a little bit of a rise. Remember, 50 cent needs to become our new nest support. You got GMM there. I'm not sure if you guys caught that $1 dip that we talked about at the market opening. $1 is right at that 200 EMA. So if you caught that GMM right there, by the way, NQ now hitting the deviation 2 line. Congrats there. Nice pop. It is trying to go red to green, still down 22 points. Market still red. We'll see how. I'm not listening to what Jerome Powell's saying, but it depends on what he might be able to give bullish comments or things that might be bearish. But overall, it looks bullish to me, and we just need to now watch out that deviation last indication line has already hit. Yeah, that $1, almost that $1 was a nice dip there. Let me see. We got, yeah, just pretty much VS and OPTT right now.
AFT, Hollow, GOE,
Yeah, as you know, VS, like I said, this was great, right? We sell into that 244 between 253, and it just comes straight down, just trend line correct. So hopefully everybody locked in nicely there. Great trade of the morning, OPTT. I mean, this thing's holding up VWAP still, so I do like that. The only thing is, can we break out of the 50 cents? Or if not, you got VLCN here getting that VWAP roll right now. All right, nice pullback from the deviation 2 line.
XAIR, COSM, 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 COSM. LGHL.
APLCN not being able to break that pre-market high, which was 632, now became that high of the day here at market opening.
LUNR. GMM. Oh. Oh. COSM, COSM, COSM. BLNK.
Okay, and Q coming back up, making another high of the day touch there at the deviation 2 line.
LGHL. MMB. RNAs.
Market is barely going green right now on the NQ right now. So it's recovering a little bit. Or I'd say it's been recovering, but now got a little slight taste of the green and then back down. We'll see. I mean, that candle above deviation 2 line needs to happen if this wants to continue.
Oh.
VS pulled back down to the 200 right now, so we'll see. GMM going nicely from that 200 EMA dip to a new high of day at 130. So
Yeah.
I think right now all the 3 top stocks are at the 200 EMA. So something to keep in mind. Top 3 stocks now all at 200 EMA on the 1-minute chart, obviously, since that's the only one that I use.
SGLEX. MSM.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of resistance into 50. That could be a good dip opportunity at the 200 EMA. So VS testing 215, 200 EMA, VLCN testing 545, 200 EMA, and OPTT testing 41 cent, 200 EMA. And then GMN is probably pulling back now too as well. So. Let's wait it out and see buyers coming in the 200 EMA levels. So 41 here is a 200 EMA right there. That 40 cent is your support.
FGM. LY, BIRT, LUNR. CJT, CTMT. UPFT, CJT. CJT. COSM, COSM, COSM. Lucy,
I like VS if it can get back above the 225 candle break line.
Carl,
GMM now at to 200 EMA as well. I'm gonna wait for one stock to actually get a decent bounce off of 200 EMA. Okay, NQ breaking above the deviation 2 line, so market's very being bullish. So now if you look at the 15-minute chart, you got that room towards 20,105. So it should be around right there, halfway between this line here. These two lines. I have a current, a little bit of resistance coming up to 84 area there. It is overbought on the RSI, showing 82 right now.
MBIBK. Carl, BIBK. BIBK. DSL. BTR. Fine. MT. LY. RTTNR.
Okay, a lot of stocks are just sitting at the 200. VS is trying, so I'm going to pull up VS at that 225 line. You got a little bit of VWAP at 228. NQ just constantly building higher lows here. Now it needs to make a higher high here on this candle. Okay, so VS is breaking back above 225, the same line that we want to use.
All CTNT. BTR. NRSM. GCT. SPC. RSM, NRSM,
Okay, another higher high on AQ.
LVPH, CTNT, all, RDTM, RDDT, FLNC, EVGL, LVPH, LVPH, LVPH,
Okay, we're just kind of waiting things out right now. Obviously, whatever Jerome Paul's saying is making the NASDAQ pop up very nicely. We do have that 10 o'clock also high impact jolts news, the job openings. So that's going to be at 10 o'clock in about 12 minutes. Right now, small caps, since market opening, it has not been very attractive here, nor active. So we're just going to have to be sitting tight, be patient. Right now, I don't really see anything that I'm really too crazy interested in.
FLNC, more, Gartner, AR, Nora,
Goodness gracious. All right. Well, hey, look at RDZN. There was a play on RDZN, but hey, it just the least one that I thought I expected, and it's popping up now. Nothing else, and RDZN popping up nicely here. So after it being dead, I think earlier we got this line here at $2.65. So RDZN is re-breaking here.
IR, CSIQ, EBS,
So pretty much everything has hit target price. So RDZN, OPTT, SYTA, VS, VS. The only thing that I'm gonna retract is IFBD. I'm not gonna look forward to IFBD breaking that 395 line. That's just not gonna happen today. Everything so far has hit PT, retracting IFBD only.
CRK, COL,
Remember, guys, there's gonna be a time where we just need to take our hands off the mouse, because if there's no opportunities,
FX,
we wait for the next setup here. So look at the three stocks that I still listed and watch the VWAP. You want to look for the VWAP roll. The closest one is OPTT. So I want to go for OPTT VWAP roll.
ALA,
Yeah, I want to see OPTT go for RDZN. Very nice pop there. Now new high at 319. Our original 265. NQ looks like we're finally getting a crack out of that trend line there. So, but actually, let's see here.
all,
My old trend line is actually might be still holding here. Yeah. This is gonna watch this area here at the moment. All right, so we got that, and then you got OPTT looking for that 45. Let's see.
Long. FBIO.
So if we can get back above 45, I'll be interested in it again.
FOMC.
Thank you. Not cracking just yet on that candle.
CTMX. EVGO. Alt. EBS. RDD2. Long. SPC. SCDG. ZAP. ACT spelling R. Wow. SMR. LRH. FLNC. CLA. EVGO. BLNK. Alt. Fine. B. BNX. SG. CIBI. LBPH. MBIO. LBPH.
Remember, we have NQ room towards that 105 line. It might have moved up now on the 15-minute chart showing 131. I think I could see this thing going up towards about 121.15. 21.15, maybe this old line. Yeah, 21.15, 130. I think that's going to be a really good, solid high level there before another pullback happens. But right now, we're just right at that deviation 2 line, which, you know, I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a big fan of days where the NQ goes above all the deviation lines. The last deviation line, which is a deviation 2 line. So we're gonna have to watch closely here for that confirmation candle to see if it's gonna close above and become support. Right now, it's just right. The candle hasn't closed yet. We got 3 seconds, and we'll see the next candle here shortly. OPTT not getting that 45-cent break just yet. RDZN kind of took over the storm here.
NRSM. SBOT. SB. ZAP.
And so we are getting a little bit of a pullback now. That candle has been officially out of the trend line. That's why we want to wait for that confirmation candle. You got the deviation 1 line as support, so it should have a little bit of a hold. Body might hold this line at 20,044 line. That was a pretty good line, if I remember correctly, from the other day, previous day. So we want to see that crack for this to now go green to red. As the market start falling back down, the red here it didn't really get that juicy green here. So this might have been a temporary pop, but let's see here. It's between that deviation 1 and 2 line. So other than that, if you miss RDZN, I would look for the break of this line right there at 319. There's a reason why we got rejected there. If you look at the daily chart, lots of resistance here. So if we can break through that, we got some higher target levels to see, maybe up towards 350 to $4. So let's see. We got to get that 319 building as support. Sparta, just reading your message, man. Your question is that you have a monitor. You watch 2 tickers at a time. Do you watch all the ones on your screen for which you have alerts? Yes, I have not all. I have about 4 usually on one screen. I don't it's a preference thing. I don't do a good job if it's like 6 or 8. You know, I used to have like 8 to 12 when I was actually trading for a hedge fund company at the back in the days. But right now, personal, there's no need for 6 or 8, 12 because the market, if you look at the situation, you're only getting maybe 2 to 3 good runners. So I have personally 4 on one screen. So it's a personal preference. If you can't keep up with more than 2, then keep 1 to 2. I just think 4 is a good number personally. I'm not sure if you heard that on the mic, Sparta. Let me know if you did. Yeah, sure.
FATL.
Okay, in the meantime, yeah, RDZN, like just watching this 319 now. So RDZN watching 319 support to form for move towards 350 to 4 if possible. So I mean, if it cracks back below 319, then that's not really what I want to see. That's not what's going to happen, but if we can get that. Yeah, we have a little bit of an alert bot issue here. We got, I don't know, another bot just repeating after me. So ignore that. We're going to get that fixed.
Wow.
So hopefully this week.
Saga.
So right now I'm just gonna watch to see if it's gonna. I'd rather see this thing pulling back down to the 10 EMA here on RDZN. Right now on NQ, you got a big doji, so you really want to pay attention to the next candle here.
FL.
So that's oof. Yep, there it is. That's that big candle right there. Like I said, watch for it. That doji in the flat top red. Nasty.
VIVI. Lucy. Saga. NUPA.
Okay, RDZN back to $3. Again, 319 just could not hold.
LBPH. SNR.
So we got a big wick down here, like a lower low every time it pinched down. So basically, we're gonna really pay attention to this line here. This doji line right there at 20,062. So it needs to pop above that. If it gets below again, then that's gonna be no bueno again and test back down a deviation one line. Other than that, small caps, we got VS. Got to get back above $2 again for it to be an interest. It is, lower highs and lower lows here at the moment. So we're going to have to be patient. It is back down to that 190 area there. That was our first entry. So that is something that is going to be that considered low risk entry by using 190 as your support. So real quick, VS testing previous first entry line at 190 now support. So that is worth mentioning there. That's where you want to grab some and see if it's going to hold and then tight stop. But overall, not seeing. It's probably because right now the first, it was an interesting day right at 9:30. You had the high impact news time with Jerome Powell speaking, and then 10 o'clock Jolt. So probably focused more on the higher cap stocks, not so much the small caps right now. So the first 30 minutes. So now it's past 10 o'clock, 10:03. So I do want to see 190 hold here on VS and start getting that nice higher lows. And Q, we'll see with this candle, got 45 seconds left to see if it's going to be able to reverse back on up. So now this is starting to become support here. I'm going to put a line there. We also have a little bit of resistance here because we got a bunch of wicks on the 5-minute chart. All of this are wicks into that line.
RDDT, SNR, SID, NATL, DJT, COM.
So pay attention here because this candle is going to be very important. This is a doji right here. So depending on how this closes, if it closes green flat here, that's going to be your support, and the buyer is going to be more confident to push this on up. Okay, so we are opening higher, so that's good. The buyers are kicking back in. Just that wicks into the deviation 2 line is another resistance again.
RCH. It's title. Oh. Yeah.
All right, RDZN coming back on up. Yeah, 295 is now your solid support level. So as long as the Heikin Ashi body holds above 295, you are bullish here. So we need this 10 EMA flag to go, break that 219 candle break, and then should be able to get that nice new high of the day out of this downtrend line if it's successful. We are still in the overbought territory here, so it's a little bit difficult for the bulls, I would say, here right now. We'll see if it holds this area.
R, SA, IR. Then ATL.
One thing I will again remind you guys is look at the candlestick since 9 o'clock. For the whole hour, every 5 minutes, it's just been green closing. So if you had any, you know, if you have multiple short trades, then you know you were fighting against the trend, and that's not good, right? So on a day like today, where I mean you're getting stuck right here at the deviation 2 line. This is not. I'm generally speaking, this is not an area you're gonna get paper cut here to death. You keep on trying to figure out whether it's go time, it's not. It's go time, it's not. You're going in and out, in and out. This is where a lot of paper cuts happen. So wait until, like I said, that body does get that confirmation closing above the deviation 2 line, and then we just keep on climbing higher lows and higher highs. So right now at the moment, this line at that 20,062 is your support. All right, so nice bounce off the 295 support to, again, 319, wicked into 319. We need to now close above 319.
Now. DJT. Dot.
Okay, so NQ, new higher low line here.
BSA.
Since the pink deviation bounce.
FL. MLGO.
RDZN still struggling to build a home at 319.
R. IR. RAR. MOV. SY. More.
Just I know this is obvious, but tomorrow it is Independence Day, so we have the early market closing. Well, technically Independence Day is on Thursday, but early closing in the market tomorrow at 1 p.m. We will still be here, but it's going to be probably most likely a short day. I mean, we're going to, you know, expect a slower day tomorrow. Okay. So what happened just now? Well, this candle opened below 20,062 line that we were talking about. So now it's bearish. So we're now cracking this line, and now we're just back to the deviation 1 line again. So you got that 14 EMA, which is probably where traders are trying to get a hunt down there. Still hasn't cracked the body of the deviation 1 line still. Okay, I like this 319 line. If we can get that candle break, you got to uphold 376.
IR. KR.
So wait for this confirmation here on RDZN. And you know, once we get that confirmation, then I do want to see this 319 go. And we got more room to run. You can see on the daily chart, it has more room to run. This is a classic example where at market opening, like we saw many times, right? It dips down into market opening, and then we can see that nice continued rip. A lot of these other stocks that right now we have not been able to see a rip on is because we haven't seen them already run up in pre-market into market opening, short window, and then drop to those 200, 500 EMA levels. So you have to just, I mean, you're just gonna have to wait until volume shows up. Right now, there's not a whole lot of activity here. So my number one watch at the moment is going to be RDZN. Once 319 candle closes, you got a 376 up pulse showing. So now the bulls got grabbed that 14 EMA here slash shorts covered into the 14 EMA ever since the 20,062 line cracked or opened here as opened at, you know, can open above that. And now we're back at that 14 EMA zone here. So the RSI is also cooling off back to the 70 after hitting 86, which is very high, or was very high.
Wow. More. Yes. Okay.
This looks like it just tested that trend line there on the 5-minute chart right there. So that was your nice entry there, and now getting a nice bounce back above the 14, or maybe you might be even back to that pink dev line. So nice bounce that on that line.
Saba. MMB. Wow. More. Next. Yes. BBS. Step. SY. STR. BLRS. Freedom. XPOM. Saga. More. More. AGNY. Next.
Okay, and Q coming back down to that 14 EMA, this trend line again, it is still making lower highs now ever since we hit a high at 20,096. And we're not making lower highs and lower lows. So we'll see if this 14 EMA holds. If not, then yeah, we're probably gonna make another new lower low here into the VWAP. Go ahead and readjust this area here on REZN top. Watch for that play on deck. Please, please, please make sure you do not get in early until we see the confirmation. A lot of traders love to jump in thinking it's going to go, and then it doesn't. It's a fake out, and then get squashed like a cockroach. So we don't want that, right? We want to make sure that these areas get that confirmation. Look what happened here on NQ. It didn't get a lower low. In fact, it bounced at the 14 EMA. So this is where you need to always watch out here. 14 EMA, very strong momentum indicator here on NQ. So right now, you got a lot of key levels of support still holding this trend line and this 14 EMA. And then depending on how this pink deadline at the 20,044 too, you got that 20,062. If it gets back about 20,062 and becomes support, you know, this thing's going to keep on trying to hack its way back up for another high. Because technically, like I said, on the 15-minute chart, you do have a little bit more room up there.
RTD. EMC. AA. BSAT. Beam. Beam. A.
Just FYI, RDZN is on SSR. 372 is up pole.
CL. A. WRBY. Beam. Air. CLEU. DM. BSAT. RDDT. MMB. WB. XPOM. DJT. Guilt. 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 Trend. GCT. Guilt. AGFY. WRBY. EMC. Beam. Air. LRHC. XPOF. EMC. BSAT. ARR. WRVY.
Okay, folks, we got 9 to 10 more minutes till we got the stretch break at 10:30.
R.
Just kind of dead right now on the small caps, quiet. My top two watch now at the moment is RDZN and OPTT.
XPOM, air. SLS. Val. WRVY. Oh.
And Q testing that 14 EMA again. Every time it tries to pop, it has been making lower highs. So this area cracks. Yes, we're gonna go down to the VWAP. We need to close below that line there next. You got less than a minute.
R. RDT. AGFY. CENX. EVS. CTRI. WRV.OPGS. NXL. CTNT. BBS. All on.
Okay, RDZN coming up to 319 candle break line.
RI. FTDR. WRVY. CENX.
Here we are, 319 again, guys. It's not closing yet. Almost there, though. It's almost there. 375 up pulse still. Not yet, guys. Not yet. Don't fall for it. This is a big resistance line. See what happens there? When you get in without confirmation, this is what happens. That's why I keep stressing out, wait for that confirmation. So now this is dead. No go here. Market is red, and we're just kind of seeing blah moves right now. VS is, if you got that 190, it is trying to perk back up a little bit.
Wow.
So yeah, going back, if you guys are not sure, but you still want to take that trade, there's nothing wrong with taking the trade when you see it breaking. The only thing is, it's not smart to go in big shares. So it's better to go in smaller, like just very little. And then once it confirms, then you can add on to that because you're adding on to strength. That's what you want to do. You do not want to be adding into a stock that is draining down the toilet lower and lower and playing the average down game. That is not the way to prosperity. All right. I've done that many times, in the past, and statistically, it just doesn't work out. Okay. So it might work out sometimes. You might get lucky and you might get out. It feels good to, climb out of a red and back into green, but you don't want to get into the habit of that. Okay. So accomplished, going back to RDZN, you want to look at, so here, let me take a screenshot of what I see on my end. And so you guys can see, because on the trade ideas, once again, it is not Heikin Ashi. This is exactly why I keep stressing out to you guys. I only use Heikin Ashi for a reason, because the the regular candlesticks is going to show sometimes that it looked like it broke, but it's not, it didn't. So I'm going to see if I can take a screenshot. So what you want to see is a body closing at 319. So far into the 319, all you have seen is the wicks. This is where how I determine my breakout zone levels. So for those that are curious, if I just randomly pull these levels out of my ASS, no, I'm not pulling out of them randomly and hoping that it might be a lucky area to uppercut, punch. But yeah, this is like on my end here. On my end, so those are all you want to see a body closing above. So does that make sense? So you want to make sure your whatever chart you're using, I use, honestly, I use the Webull chart, which I like the Webull chart. I mean, it's free. I used to use E-Trade Pro, and obviously long days are gone with that company. I think they got bought out by Fidelity or something. I don't know. I don't keep track. I don't have money in that account anymore. Years ago, I left them, like maybe 2-3 years ago. But Webull is where I use for chart. I don't really trade. I don't day trade on Webull. I trade with Centerpoint mainly, but that's just something that you gotta go. So that's why, when I keep saying, hey guys, like, yeah, don't get in early, just wait for the confirmation. Because the reason why is because, if you look at the daily chart, if that was successful, you see that 200, it's all the way up to like 460. And then you got another room all the way up to 388. It's got plenty of room. You know what I mean? So you don't need to be rushing only to get a fake out. I'd rather go in, be a little late, and then wait for the confirmation, and use that as support, and then get out once that support cracks again. You see what I'm saying here? So that's what it is. Now, vice versa, this could be also good if you know how to read how I'm seeing it. This is also a good shorting level. Okay. Now, obviously, I'm not saying you should short when I'm trying to go long, which you know, at the end of the day, it's free world. It's freaking stock market. You know, it doesn't matter. No one can stop. Anyone's gonna do whatever they want. But the point of it is, you know, that's also a good area to short. Now look at here, like bunch of wicks reject, bunch of wicks into 319 rejects. Once again, rejects. It looks like it had a great shot here. That was it. So another thing you could do is draw a trend line from that initial, you know, higher lows and have a stop below right there. You know what I mean? And then you get stopped, and then now you get this massive move down. The guys that didn't have a stop, now they're figuring out, oh crap, like, you know, honestly, by this time, if you didn't even sell, like if I was in your shoes, like, and I, you know, and I'm not in a dire moment, I still have buying power, I would just buy the dip here at 265. That's personally me. If you missed, you didn't have a tight stop here and you're already down this much, there's no, for me at least, doesn't make sense to sell it here when the next support's right there. So personally, I would just average down here, double down, and then have a tight stop. And if it does work out, it doesn't work out. If you don't like that, then you know what? That's just you. You can make a decision and get out then. But a lot of times, the stocks will bounce again on these nice support levels because buyers are still interested. So just don't be that dummy that sells into support. Next thing you know, the price just jumps back up. Okay. It's all a game. You just got to learn to make sure you master your emotions. The emotions is the biggest thing. Okay. Even I get emotional from time to time because I'm a human being. But the trick is to make sure that, you know, you don't get shaken by the negativity. There's always negativities around, you know, the trading world and outside of the trading world. You got to just learn to deal with it. You know, it's not easy, but that's the point. If you start to learn to overcome those emotions, eventually, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to get more tough, and you're going to be unbreakable. So NBIO at the moment looks pretty good here. I just ran into NBIO micro penny stock hitting a new high of the day here, all the way up to 59 cents, 60-cent natural resistance. Still got Zap. Let's see here. Zap. Don't think I mentioned this one. Or did I? Let me see.
Harry.
Come on. Yeah. Totally missed Zap. I don't know how I missed it. I guess I was just so not focused on that, obviously. But 12 million bond traded. It's been just climbing. Just again, another classic example. Stock that just is near 200, you know, really low, just starts running on up. Algos start kicking in, just buyers start coming, FOMO. It's just too late now. Not going to be a buyer here. Only FOMO buyers are like, oh my gosh, I need to get in now, or starting to, you know, chase into this. This is going to be a not so smart area because, I mean, heck, it's looking like a juicy short level there. And it's not even on SSR. So 10 EMA extension, you want to see that thing pulling back. Support's going to be around 280. You want this thing to calm down towards 280. Another 20-cent fat drop. That would be nice. Right now, it is showing up to 351 up halt, but I mean, well, you know, $3 natural support. This cracks 280 flush down there. I'm just you know, 234 down halt. You got now you got now probably a doji forming. Depends on how the next candle after that doji will look. You got about 25 seconds on this candle. So most likely it's going to be a doji here. And then what you want to see is, if you're short, doji in a flat top red at the $3 and then drop. Just like how you saw here on NQ, doji ended up actually on the 5-minute closing above and popped. But this is what I'm talking about. You have, if you're on the 1-minute chart, you have to really count down. Now you got a brand new candle. You got another doji here. This candle is going to be important. This candle is going to be the determination whether or not it's going to try to pop up or not, because you still have the 10 EMA holding up. So doji flat opening here above 3, right? So bulls are trying to push. If it ended up flushing down below 3, then bearish. Right now, doji. Again, this is not Heikin Ashi, so you're not going to be able to distinguish whether this is doji or not, but it is a doji on the Heikin Ashi on this candle at 1036. So now buyers have another 20 seconds to go to make sure they close what? Well, make sure that it does close above 3, because at any time that next few seconds in that candle, it could drop below 3, and the next following candle drops below above that closing, below that closing, and then keeps making that lower highs and lower lows. Right now, it is holding up, so it's still fine. But anyways, I just want to make sure that you guys understand. Zap, let me see what's going on here with news wise, if there's anything on Zap that we can find out, because it's not on SSR. It's a low float, 1.9 million float, like under 2 million. UK auto manufacturer company. So on average, trades at about 2.7 million volume, trade about 14, but pretty good volume. There's no new news that I see today. So I don't think this is going to be a very long-lived stock, especially now we kind of already hit up there as a high of day. Anyways, going back to NQ, great bounce off this trend line, 14 EMA support. Definitely you don't want to be shorting into the 14 EMA, especially when the buyers are still holding near that deviation 2 line. So we're poking back into the deviation 2 line. Again, we have not seen a body above it today, so good areas to sell into.
Yep, they are. TRMD, TNL. Ford. LGF. Yep, they are. Hey. RNAC.
Okay, NQ breaking above deviation 2 line now.
TNL.
Once again, look what's happening here. So if $3 here does not get back up, we're gonna get faked into $3, and this could drop on Zap, but it's still holding. It's trying to do a 10 EMA flag. So FYI, 10 EMA bull flag is still possible for another next leg up on Zap. Going back to other stocks, yeah, OPTT, once again, just not getting that VWAP roll, too much rejection, no 45-cent break. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. We're not gonna be able to catch everything out there, right? Sometimes there's gonna be one that slips by us, because sometimes you might be focused on that one stock or trading a different instrument, right? So it happens. I would just say watching for the 10 EMA bull flag here if it's gonna be able to do it. All right, guys. Well, I totally missed my stretch break. That's crazy. I guess forget about the stretch break. If you did, great. Another big fat wick into the deviation 2 line. So just our ultimate resistance line.
R. BSA2. LGBF, small I. BIRT. Yes. Okay. XPOM, ALUR.
Okay, zap your highs.
LGBF. BBPR. TMRE. GSM.
We got 15 minutes till 11 a.m. Rep or dip time. Now, do expect tomorrow to be a bit slow as it is early closing once again. And Thursday, we're off. And Friday, we're off. Now, FYI, Friday, technically, market is open, but I would personally expect it to be rather pretty dry. So, just a heads up. A lot of people are taking vacations. They're not going to be trading on Friday. Unless you're like, so just got nothing going on and you really wish to trade, maybe you might get one good trade in and call it a day, but definitely don't want to be falling into a trappy low volume day. And next thing you know, you're not enjoying your weekend because you're playing on a low volume day, got trapped. So it looks like Zap. What happened? Well, $3 cracked. We should be coming down to the 280. This line right there, that's your support. And there it is, just got filled on the cover if you ended up taking a short, right? So as soon as I open Zap, I just know when it's not a good time to get in. It's not a good time. You need to avoid. In fact, better to understand that buyers are selling and shorts need to come in and eat on the way down. Okay. All right, RDZN still holding as number one gainer. 280 cracks on RDZN. Yes, it's gonna, not RDZN, on the Zap, it will continue to go down further and further to those next lines that I had. Right now, RDZN, what is it doing? It's lower highs and lower lows. So, let's go ahead and draw that lower low line there. So there you go. I mean, anytime it comes back down here at 265, that's going to be, looks like what? A perfect dip. Right? It's probably going to get rejected 295, or maybe it'll go up towards the wicks up towards 308. Might get dropped down to 265. That's your ultimate nice dip entry, in my opinion, based on this look. You want to look for that. If it ever comes back and get that big momentum later, then you already know that line at 319 is going to be big line.
Right.
But pretty much my top trade of the morning has been VS, OPTT, and actually SYTA. So made some money on that, but those are pretty much my main go-to stocks. So right now, the Prosperity Trace channel, you only got 45-cent break for OPTT and 319 RDZN.
Spread. SPOF. TNL. CNX. Bond. CRI. Double. Right. CRM. NX.
Here we got 10 more minutes to 11 a.m. rubber dip time.
KAL. Game. EPS. Double. RRP1. CMRE.
Thank you. It looks like it might make another higher high. Watching for that. Once it makes a higher high, we'll get most likely a pullback, as it has done every time. Right now, we have a line resistance at 20,102. I'm going to go ahead and put that line there. Notice how VS, RDZN, VLCN, all those stocks are below VWAP. The only stock breaking out right now is OPTT that I said to watch for. So we are breaking that 45 right now. Excuse me. So this is our latest OPTT play. Earlier it was what? 33, and then here we go again at the 45. 60-cent up pulse showing here. So 0.45 now support, 66 up pulse showing. Or 60 cents, sorry. Which is what I eventually ultimately want to see on OPTT after 50-cent support. Get another nice 10-cent leg up.
KABRBY. BIRT. CMRE. KMTK. Scribe. STAA. K. EBS.
There's a new higher high on NQ now. So just FYI.
Scribe. CMRE. STAA. STAA. WGS. SB. Scribe. CBNX. KABL. BRM.
Hey guys, so hopefully you guys got that 48-cent. Again, we're looking for that 3-cent move for now, and then 50-cent goes, and you can look forward to that afterwards. But yeah, not many of you guys might have gotten filled there, just in case. Well, I'm still trying to make sure that this 45-cent holds. I want to make sure 45 is still good.
TRO.
If the 45-cent doesn't hold, just remember you also have the higher low still trend line. So you want to probably, if you want to save yourself 3-cent discount there, probably come down to 42. It could be better buy there. But ultimately, we want to see this 10 EMA at 45 hold and then continue to make another higher high there towards 50 cents. Got an up halt now at 61. Okay, so NQ made another higher high, and then what happened? Well, right now, actually, it's still trying on this candle. You've got about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, so you still have maybe a little bit more for this candle to try to make another high. But right now, you got support now at that deviation line at 20,100 line there. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm gonna start wrapping up my day here, but pretty much before I take off the mic here, you got the 45 cent support. I want to see OPTT breaking back above 50 cents, build support there, go towards 60 cents. All right. So that's currently what I'm gonna be really focusing on watching. NQ overall, I think it was a pretty easy trading day, just based on how these candlesticks formed. It just was more on the bullish side today. So if you took most of the bullish trades, you should be up in the green today. All right. Other than that, I'm not a huge fan of trading much more on NQ when it's like breaking up all the deviation lines. That's just me personally, but I would say don't get too greedy. Lock in your gains. It should be an easy, chill week. Don't expect crazy things here. Just lock in, enjoy, and we just need to get ready for the 4th of July week and with the weekend, and then next week's gonna be another full trading week. So just think about that. All right, take care, everybody. God bless you all. I'm looking forward to our last trading day of the week tomorrow.